Let's get it. Let's get it.
How about
When the technical isn't here, man, we take a little bit to start.
the combined ages of the people in the room, and then it's embarrassing.
Aye. But we figured it out.
Figured it out,
Yeah, we figured it out, man. This is Dojo episode 6.
Episode 6, season 14.
Season 6? 14. Man,
16.
16, bro.
Yeah, we're on season 16. Yeah, 16. Episode 6.
Yes. Let's apologize for last week.
Yes.
We really apologize for not giving you guys an episode, but we just didn't have power here.
Yeah, we did rock up on meeting.
Yeah.
There was an unscheduled power cut.
Yeah, in the neighborhood.
In the facilities where we are recording at House 22. So we actually waited for like an hour and a half. It still didn't come.
Still didn't come. So we had to can it.
Yeah, and we couldn't record on a Sunday.
Yeah, but still, shout outs to Waste 22. Shout outs to the
Holding
homies
us down.
for holding us down for last season, this season as well. So shout outs to them. Who else do we need to shout out? Nobody else. Huh?
Uzuri.
Shout outs to Uzuri, man, the main bread sponsor.
And we don't have anything there yet. Ne?
Yeah.
But I think Mudisi is working on something.
Yeah, this is working on something.
In terms of match.
Yes.
We haven't had a match drop.
Yes.
This year.
Shout outs to the YouTube membership.
And Patreon.
Man.
Actually, those are the only people that deserve an apology when we don't have it.
Exactly. Especially YouTube membership and our Patreon subscribers, man. We love you and we really appreciate supporting the content, man. It means a lot.
Yeah.
It keeps us afloat.
Yep.
Yeah, you guys have no idea. Man. As you can see, Mo isn't around. Limbali.
Yep.
Limbali hanto. Mbali ulona twelve more.
Mbali is fun. Mudisi is adulting.
Yeah. Mbali ulona 12 more.
Mbali is out the country. The corrupt politician
Came
looks
through.
like survived the GNU is still sponsoring Uton
Survive GNU hot money. Aye. So now they're sharing the spoils.
Yeah,
you know
she's out. I think Istanbul is the same time zone as us.
Yeah, that's the capital of Turkey, is it?
It's the capital. Yeah, I think it is.
It's the capital.
I think it is.
Yeah.
You know, when I went to Turkey in 2011, and then I took a cab from the airport. Ne?
Yeah, to your hotel.
Yeah, you know, but sometimes you appreciate things about your country when you are out of the country.
Yeah.
So it was a taxi, a cab.
A cab, yeah.
Yeah, it was a. It was a cab, a colleague. You know, the traditional yellow cabs. The man asked speed and then he was not speaking English. So what about a penny come on? And then he just turns out. And now he's not looking at the road like, don't panic. Relax. And he's flying. And there's a lot of traffic there, you know, but I think it's a nice country.
Yeah, man. Let's go surprise.
BBL.
It's the BBL
Hey, it's
capital.
a BBL capital. Hey.
The BBL capital of the world right now.
And but they also showed us
Yeah, they do hair stuff.
yeah, for balding niggas.
Yeah, hair transplants.
So is it your own hair?
I'm not sure what they do.
Because the BBL, while it's not your original bump,
Yeah.
it's still your meat.
It's like fat. It's
Yeah,
fat
what I'm saying.
transfer,
Yeah,
right?
so there's no plastic.
Yeah. Well, some BBLs there's no plastic. I know some BBLs are silicon.
They still filling them up like silicon.
Yeah. Some are silicon, some are fat, right?
Yes.
Yes. It depends on what you get.
But
I'm not
also-
hating if it's your fat.
Yeah, I'm not hating if it's your
But
fat.
also it depends on where you go. So I know for the silicone, you mostly have to go to like the South American countries.
South
so
American.
I know
Brazil.
Colombia is very popular for
with the
the silicone BBLs or the ass shots, where they inject something to just kind of make your ass bigger.
Yeah.
But got Turkey, I think they use your fat, your
Kitty
own
fat
body
transfer.
fat, and then no.
Yeah, they seem to be
Yeah.
a destination for cosmetics.
Apparently the healthcare there is crazy. The doctors that they have.
Or outside just the cosmetics.
Yeah, just outside
generally healthcare.
just outside even the kind of plastic surgery side. Apparently the healthcare in Turkey is top notch.
I
apparently
think
it's
maybe
top
that's that's why everybody is
going there.
rushing there. I mean, South Africa doesn't have a lot of cosmetic surgeons, very few, and
Even though we got world-class doctors.
we have world-class doctors,
and
even
medical
nurses, even nurses. That's why our South African nurses are so sought after in England, Saudi,
Canada, ne?
Canada. So a lot of our nurses, they get opportunities to, because whether they are as good or as close to a doctor as possible from the South African nurses. So that's why South African nurses are so thingy.
If you wondering who is on there,
It's a replacement pick me for the week.
Yeah, no,
Friend of the
She's
show,
been here
man.
before.
She's been here before.
Yes.
Yeah, but we didn't properly introduce the guest. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to take a little pause there just to introduce you, man. You're welcome.
Thank you guys for having me again.
Thank you for coming. All right, man.
And Bali, this is for you in case you ever thought you are irreplaceable.
No, Mbali is irreplaceable, guys.
Bali's
Don't say
irreplaceable.
that.
We love you, Bali.
Everybody is replaceable.
No, Mbali
Nobody will
makes
ever
it true.
give you what another person was giving you. You can replace me with better,
Or worse.
yeah, but I'm still irreplaceable.
Yeah.
True.
Or worse.
Yeah, but you can still replace me with better. I'm not saying you can't replace me with better. But you are replaceable.
Oh, worse.
You know? Yeah, but yeah.
Otherwise, what you been up to, man?
What have I been up to?
Past 2 weeks? No, week basically.
I've just been in the hood for a long time because my kids were in Durban. So they went to Durban with my sister. So when that happens, I generally don't go to the north.
Yeah.
Then I've been having a lot of academic marking because I do some work for the school.
Yes.
So what they do is that it's a
Can I make an MBA, ne?
it's the mixture.
No,
it's a mixture. It's also some bachelors. The high HCM higher certificate.
Or what?
It's
Or
whatever,
post-
school,
post-
yeah,
yeah.
whatever.
Giddy postgrad, though.
So because they're going into exams, we are marking a lot of the assignments that
Assignments
qualify you.
now. 2 for the exam.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember because my parents are teachers, right?
Yeah.
I remember before exams, bro, like it gets very hectic, very,
Because
very
I
very
enjoy teaching, I love
Yeah,
teaching.
yeah.
But I hate the admin.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of admin. And Tamayana was a high school teacher, right? And Bonak apparently for matriculants, like they need to perform because also performing sharpo. Apparently, you answer to the MEC if I'm
Or
of
as a
education.
teacher, as a school.
Yeah, as a
Yeah,
school.
yeah.
Yeah, because they have a banally percentage
of
targets
sorts,
that
yeah.
you need to reach as a province.
Yeah, no, that's true. My mom is also a teacher.
Yeah.
In high school?
Yeah, my mom's a science teacher, high school science teacher. So
She teaches matrix as well.
She teaches grade 11s.
Grade 11s.
I know she teaches grade 8, 9, 10s, and 11s.
Yeah.
And then she also does extra classes because my mother thinks she's Saint Teresa, so she gives everybody extra classes. But yes, when I see her marking,
Yeah, I know it's happening, though.
I don't even visit home when I know when she has to
it's
mark
around that
because
time.
I'm just like, I don't have
Nah.
energy for that.
Yeah, no, the admin is crazy.
No, it's
Yeah,
crazy.
the admin is dumb crazy,
yeah.
man.
So,
yeah.
so that's
what you've been
Yeah, in the main. That's
in the main, man. Nah, mainly work, man. But I'm not too busy around this
you're
time.
not tilting. I can
Yeah.
see when you're busy. I can see in the group or on Twitter.
Not too busy, man. I've just been helping family with the taxes.
tax,
Yeah. I often just do the kibaits as a favor. I do my sisters, I do my brothers, get a time, and then other extended family members who hit me up.
How's the thing? How's the culture since the integration of your firm with the other one? I get you guys were bought. Or there was a merge of your company.
Oh yes. Le manga. Yeah, there was.
How's the culture?
Hey man, niggas are getting suspended.
What's funny?
Yo, and I think like hormonal transition period because niggas are getting suspended, bro. Him when every time I'm in the office, good luck suspension.
Yeah.
And it's always on our side.
It's a black people. So it's a black people getting suspended.
I was like, yo, can't you imagine that?
But sometimes also you find, you know, when you.
But I think it's not necessarily who the homies are lazy. I think it's a culture clash. It's a culture.
Yeah,
it's a culture shock and a culture clash.
But what I've realized, when black companies are bought out or they merge with white companies, Mahua have their own people that they want to bring in, right?
Yeah.
So
And agenda.
Yeah, agenda's agenda,
Yeah.
right? So a lot of the time, they will find even the most minute thing to get rid of the black guy to bring in there, because they've already lined up somebody to take over your spot.
Where?
And also the culture clash. Like if your company is more relaxed and you know all of that, and then next, that's when you know things happen.
Exactly.
People have attitudes or all of that. It happens.
So I think there has been just a bit of the old guard clashing with
your former owner who founded the company. He still retains the share, but he's not a person involved.
Because he retired.
Oh,
but
he retired.
He still retains.
He's got a stake.
Yeah, he still has a stake. Yeah.
So he probably sits on the board as well.
Yeah, he probably sits on the board.
Yeah.
Definitely. So Babele, our former MD, she's now the new CEO of the new operation.
Even though the takeover they still retain your boss.
Yeah, they still.
Okay.
And I wonder how check out the upper echelons. Yeah, obviously, Bamobile Gaudi Mumara. I wonder the other guard is still. It's still.
It's
It's
still.
level.
Yeah.
It's a level.
Yep.
And then it's managerial level.
It's more ceremonial.
And then
she's more ceremonial.
Yeah, but also I think in those situations,
But
a lot of the
she's
time,
competent. I don't want to take away from
her competency.
From her competency, because she is she even way before the merger. I mean, the news board inside the accountants, she's always showing on there. So she's very competent. I don't want to take that from her, but I think Libona in their negotiations by sure Libona they still
it normally happens with these things but okay from our team, from our managerial team, retain them in a certain position.
Because there was a lot of discussion.
Yeah, because also you try not to make also your people that you're coming with uncomfortable. They still need to see a familiar face to so to say.
Sometimes people, we're just not privy enough to how much of just tools we are when people talk about us. I remember I was working for this multinational, so they gave me a phone, and I think, was it an iPhone? Can't remember if it was an iPhone, but they gave me a phone that used to belong to the director. And it still had retained some SMSs.
The SMSs,
and I could see his conversation with one of the senior managers. And like the way they speak about people, but
oh my God.
Fuck him. He mustn't get anything.
Oh my
God. Like people had felt like trying to justify why you should get a bonus. But the way they speak about it is like, yo, bro, we only have 10 rand to spare.
And how are we dividing
and
this?
We need to make sure
Look, it's an uncomfortable thing because I've been in it, and I currently am in it because
having those discussions.
Look, I don't think it's as rude as that because I realize Mahua Vela are just generally rude. But it's you look at it holistically because right. But then when you look at it as an employer, and some people think they deserve, they're entitled to bonuses and all of that. And what I realized, people are not self-aware of themselves in their workspaces. I think in corporate with corporate people it's better because you guys have appraisals, they're formal and everything. With us, we don't necessarily have those formal procedures.
But still an SMME.
No, other than it being an SMME, we're not corporate as
formal.
We're not as formal. So what we would normally do is call our site management. Your site supervisor, site manager, and let's say a safety officer. We will call them as top management. Okay, lona go di teams in your different sites. Because also my thing is I don't work with these people on a daily basis. I don't have a good understanding because utatola batho ba bang ha o fihla siteng ba iketsa nkare ba betere, sister boss and you see what they want to show you. But then people who work with them daily will tell you, now 1, 2, 3. So now we normally just call our site management. We sit them down, we go through each and every person's thing. Could you work with this person? Could you continue if when the contract stops and we go to another contract? Is it someone we can retain? And unfortunately, some people are not retained when we move to other contracts.
You know, like, to try to make it sound fair or objective. So what they will do is that they will say, rate yourself, incorporate.
Yeah, because that's
then,
what they do,
they will say, ask colleagues
to rate you.
And input. And then we usually call it internal clients, like people maybe that you service in the organization. Okay, what they think of you. So this guy was querying his score. So now HR was saying, no, but it's not your boss who's discriminating against you. Across the board, this department is saying, okay, if you guys agree to, why don't you take offer? Why don't you take offer of principal?
Because you're supposed to let me know.
Because this is I've been so horrible. Okay, sharp, I accept. Man,
exactly, bro.
I
feel him.
So it's as if you guys were banking this shit so that
you can No, that's true.
How can you all feel this way?
Yeah, because if you really felt that way, why didn't you guys intervene? That's basically what it says.
So now, like an internal department has been yes, but everything you want this guy. I'll try it. Hey, make it slow. Hey, I can make it a little bit. Everything is fine.
Yeah, no, look, it's when it comes to their monies.
Yeah.
And my thing is how much I try to instill with my site management. Listen, if someone says something, tell them in that space. Tell them, you don't get to work on time, you don't do 1, 2, 3. I'm giving you 3 months. And also another thing is that don't give instruction based on top management. You are on site. Don't say Ntebu said I must. Instruction.
You own it. Yeah, because you gotta own it.
Yeah, because I can't give an instruction like that. So I always say then you see the progress. If not, then we can say because
other people aren't good managers, man. And that sometimes because I cannot we don't contribute to the rating study managers at all.
Okay.
Which I kind of find unfair because we are the ones that work with these people. And I'm like, nah, but my input is necessary here because I have to deal with this nigga all the time. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like some people are just not good managers.
But now I had a role where we used to give input because
from the subordinates.
Because I remember no, it's not a performance. There's usually culture service.
Okay.
Oh yeah. The service, they do the service. The service.
No, not the performance rating.
Yeah, not
the culture service.
Yes.
Does this guy embodies the values of the company?
They do that.
Like I said, we're not a formal, right?
But then he realizes it feeds what he says. It confirms it feeds it. So now he feels we betrayed him, but at the same time he feels like he also kind of needs to redeem himself. Now he's caught between a rock and a hard place. I also want to tell this.
Exactly.
But at the same time, it's gonna confirm.
It will confirm that
there
must be a change in behavior.
Within
the next 3 months,
No, like I said, we're formal. So a lot of the guys that work for us, especially the older ones, have worked with my dad for many years.
For a long time.
So they're very loyal to Taimalak. So if they have a problem with the manager, they go to my dad.
Oh,
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
And now your dad has to sort of not get involved, yo.
No. My dad takes that seriously because if a driller or an assistant is unhappy, it shows in production for us. It shows in production. So a lot of the time, so if one of the guys says, but site manager does ha re kopa equipment doesn't come on time. Ha diesel little fella re mo jwetsa. This
yeah,
ha etse ntho
sure.
tseo. We take it very seriously
Very
because it
serious.
shows in our production when things don't happen. And then when production doesn't happen, some of them they don't even wait for us to come and ask why re bona ntho tse so.
Oh, ba tla ba le jwetsa,
Ba fonela time like a straight up himself but
I know.
but I matala. Pelas manager how 1 2 3 re
How
kupile what
kopane-
and then time like o tla bua
Le manager
le
o
manager
emone,
hore or site
yo.
supervisor mfethu
What's going on?
abafana bayakhala on the ground what's going on pick it up and like you say not everybody's a good manager
Not-
or
not everyone is a
supervisor
good- no.
and a lot of the time we take our guys from you're a good driller for instance what we do and then we put them into supervision position. But just because you're a good driller doesn't
make you
necessarily mean a good leader. So sometimes it's
Yeah.
it's a catch-22 because you need someone who's experienced to understand the work.
Understands the work.
But at the same time,
they might not have
the skills,
traits and the
you know.
skills required.
So you're not understand there. Our guys tell us and abathabi.
Abathabi, ne?
Like I say, but
Nah, I feel you.
bako di mining abanata.
I feel you, man. Like there's this. I think I'd call it like the video on TikTok, man, where these guys back the WhatsApp of managers, leading employees, someone, and to
expose them.
to expose them.
Spanish, right?
Yeah, how bad these niggas are.
As communicators
Well,
and
like
shit.
some of the communications and expectations that managers have of their employees. I know, crazy. Like yesterday, I think Nikki Chikile Iwane, this nigga is out on leave. Ne? He's in Mexico. Look at the leave proper, all approved in
South African.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, I think I saw that.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
the guy's like,
no, you need to come back.
Yes,
There was a
because-
mistake.
yes.
And he is insisting, okay, this nigga must come back from holiday because they're short staffed. That nigga quit, bruh.
yes.
That nigga quit.
Is it the one who had the sisters getting married?
Yeah, I think so.
No, it was-
Yeah, because
it-
Baba Ladi-
yeah, because-
Baba Ladi WhatsApp.
Yeah, because his sister was getting married in Italy or
he's out the
Mexico.
country.
He's out the country.
He's not gonna make it, but this boss is insisting. Okay, we need you. We short staffed. I'm canceling your holiday. Kichincha system. You get on the first flight home. You know.
You'll be more short-staffed.
No. I quit.
You know, like
I quit.
one thing I've realized is that as a discipline, people don't understand what management is. Ne? And also organizations, what they tend to do is that they make a high performer become a manager as a reward.
That is what she was talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
Right? As a reward. Because the truth of the matter is that, think about sports. You don't need to have been a superstar to be a good coach.
Yes.
Yes.
It's a natural ability.
Yeah.
Yes.
You understand
Talent.
the game.
Yes.
You understand how to coordinate. You know how to
Yes.
put people together. Ne?
Yeah.
And I mean, I was seeing like Ntona Vaka and I saw like the videos everybody in
Steve Compella.
Lamborghini.
Oh,
Steve
Compella.
Compella, yeah.
My God, I saw
You know-
that. I saw
I
that.
couldn't believe you could even afford one.
But what I'm trying to say is that the game rewarded him
Yeah.
for a different skill set.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not for being a superstar.
and it's not like he was the.
Yeah. Look,
Yeah, he was. Look,
good. He was
look, he was good.
Yeah, no, he was good,
but
but he
not
wasn't
a
like
superstar.
he
Yeah.
wasn't a superstar.
So a lot of times what happens is that in organizations
You promote
we
your
fail,
superstar.
yeah, we fail. HR fails to basically differentiate in terms of rewarding a talent of management as a skill.
Yeah.
And then what they do that they will take a superstar.
Yeah, hype.
And
Like let's say I'm a
Pumpkin
salesperson because it's an easier metric to measure. Like
Yeah.
I'm always hitting my targets. Then you are like, okay, Taban, you want to be the sales director.
Yeah.
I'm like, but now, remember when you're a manager or a director, you need to be able to connect dots beyond just your department.
Yes.
Wabo. So if I'm a director, ne, I'm like, shit. Sometimes selling more can be a challenge for my supply chain colleague.
Yeah.
Right? So I need to coordinate those dots. But when I'm a sales rep, I'm like selling, like cooking on gas. I don't have to care about how this thing
About
impacts on
effect.
other
Yeah.
people.
Exactly,
Right?
exactly.
So can you see like it's a skill because you need to understand, okay, we could be fucking up a working capital KPI. And you need to understand that KPI, what it means
Yes.
over and above just your department.
Yes.
harnessing the team, like I was saying in the previous point.
Managing people, bro. It's a skill.
It's a skill.
Yeah, even when you get into a team dynamics, for example, there are people who talk too much, ne? But there's where they are needed. Then there are people that are lazy, and there's where they are needed.
Yeah.
So when you are managing a team, you need to understand, okay, here it's for sure. I know he's a winger. He's a bullshit. And I'm send him.
Exactly.
Because he's gonna represent
because you have to understand.
There's one okay, owner, if I can leave him as my standing manager, it makes sense. He usually takes so think about kids, it's like when a kid doesn't listen to you, and when you leave the house, you don't want an agreeable child because an agreeable child will pose danger. So you leave that as a manager because they are stubborn, so they need a lot to convince. Whereas a lazy person who just wants experience, so that's how you structure and manage those dynamics. But I think HR, what they do is like, you're a good performer, you're not a manager.
It's what we were just talking about a minute ago, right? And Rona, that's when, because look, I've taken over. Me and my sister have taken over from my dad, and we work with him, and his way of doing things is different to how we do things, right? So not like I say, he would promote high-performing drillers into supervision positions, but it didn't make sense. So when we like, I would rather compensate Mutu are performing high for their job. Continue there. Let us go out and find
a
skill set. But then also what we realize that there are some people who don't necessarily have to be the driller, but they could be like the co-marker or the assistant, which is the other people on the team. They have the leadership skills. So what we've been trying to do is introduce people who can come and teach managerial skills, just enhance what we have noticed. But also, even as for myself, I don't come, get nepotism. Like to get more positioning because of nepotism.
And we encourage nepotism. We want to see more.
Yeah,
of it.
look, at the end of the day,
Black people,
I'm not even ashamed. Getting it out because time like
that
business.
is how it's supposed to be.
Give business lad time he's giving to his kids, and it's great. Love it for me. But also, I've had to learn certain skill sets that are not my natural thing to do, right? Like I was complaining earlier before we started the pod, managing men who are much older than me, who act like 20-year-olds sometimes, and also coming into a space where people are used to this man as their leader. Then you come in as a girl far younger than them who now has to take over. It's a culture shock for them.
It is.
So Linda, myself, also having to deal with communities, you need to learn how to speak. Because now I got irritated. I got irritated. I'm like, oh my word, you guys are fighting over. But now, when you go into communities, when you're about to start a project and you're introduced by a client, I had to take into consideration certain things. So, like for instance, it's important dress code. For me, I go on site, kapiri my PPE or my overall or my pants or whatever. But how long open a tribal authority, I have to wear a dress or a skirt. Tshwantse ke kwale my shoulders. Ke rwale hloho. It's hot as hell in Limpopo, but I have to do it, right? And also, in certain tribal authorities, women are not allowed to speak. So I have to accept those things because then I have to pass. So now I have to speak through my business. I could speak. So we have a business partner who's male, so I speak through my business partner or my dad at the time. He needs to relay the message. Or sometimes in those meetings when I am, in areas where I am allowed to speak, I have to be very careful not to offend people, what to say. I can't speak Sohoa Haholo, but I'm not, my mother tongue is not Bedi, but luckily you kind of can help each other out. So those kind of things you learn, those
are soft skills.
Those are soft skills, but because I studied politics and understand the art of negotiation, stakeholder relations and policies, my skills have come in handy when we negotiate with clients or when we negotiate with communities, because my business partner and my dad are technical people,
Yes.
operational people. They don't have the soft skills that I have, right?
Yeah.
So it's easier for me to kind of calm certain situations.
And you complement each other, actually.
That's the thing. So my people are like, oh, your sister is head of what? Why aren't you the boss? I'm like, for us, our understanding is that we're working off each other's base skills.
Yeah, and that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I don't work because I'm the oldest. I'm supposed to have the highest title.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. Like our business partner hates paperwork. He'll never work in the office. My dad hates his office. He'd rather be on site working on his machines. You know, so it's those kind of dynamics.
You put people where they will shine best.
Yes.
Yeah, literally, man. Speaking about politics, man, just to digress a bit, it's been 100 days. I think the 100 days
Of
Chile,
GNU.
of GNU.
Okay.
So what's been happening a lot in the media? They've been looking at all the ministers, sort of like a scorecard or
Yeah.
how they've been performing for the first 100 days of this thing. So I think they did one. Times Live did one, Steenhuisen did one, Gayton, and a few other ministers.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to ask you guys, after 100 days of GNU, what is your impression so far of how things are going?
I'm not impressed.
Yeah,
I
and
am.
maybe if you want to mention any minister or whatever you've noticed.
I am so unimpressed. It's not even funny.
Why is that?
Look, especially the ministers, these other political parties, they are grandstanders.
Yeah, especially the Home Affairs.
Yeah, so it's
But
almost.
I'm not mad at Gayton, man.
Look,
I'm not mad with the movement of how he's doing things.
There's this
Especially
term.
for his portfolio.
Yeah, there's a term. Don't really want to use it, but I'll use it for this instance. Lusufism.
What does that mean?
Uba busy ska Lesotho.
Uba busy mara re bone hantle nto busy ka eng.
Have you seen there's a guy who likes to do it?
Yeah, o busy but
That nigga was running. That's the thing.
like you know when
He was very but we are God.
like you everywhere, but I don't necessarily see what you do. Like for Gayton, and it also caught him out. I think.
So you're not a fan of how he's doing things?
I'm not a fan. Look, I'm not a fan of a lot of the opposition.
Okay.
The white opposition. Let me put it that way.
Yeah.
Because for me, it's a lot of grandstanding and not a lot of work being done, right? John Steenhuisen, let me give an example with him. He's had already one scandalous thing. Yeah, Roman.
Avocados.
No,
that nigga.
his chief of staff, the guy who's gonna hire his chief of staff, is
And
a
apparently
racist.
that guy doesn't want to go.
But
Obata golden handshake.
Obata golden handshake, right? And the thing is, what is your
Yeah, but
what is your reasoning? What is your labor reasoning for him to get fired? Because you hired this man. Or no, he has done nothing.
Yeah, because what you want to fire him for is more the social climate than it is the condition of employment.
Yes, and also it's something that happened.
They asked him to resign.
Yeah, and also this is something that happened before even he was hired. So you should have known
They
this
should have known.
Yeah, Utanale, that Ronaldo host guy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, for Ronaldo is even worse because
And that
it's
nigga
been
had a
out
digital
there.
footprint. How come when as
You
an
st-
organization
You
didn't
still,
know?
hey, you knew, no?
They knew.
Listen, DA knows they are racist and they are racist friends, but they are trying to but they think we're going to forget. South Africa loves return on investment on hating and proving a point.
Blind.
Okay?
And we'll be there.
We will be there.
And we'll
So
be
for
there.
me, it's just like these people have always had very contentious past, and it's a known fact, but you still put them there thinking you're going to, dom the masses. And South Africans right now, they are looking for reasons. They will find the reasons.
Yeah.
So for me, Steenhuisen, le agriculture njangiboni, but we'll see.
Oh, boni next.
I keep boni next.
Yeah.
And then Gayton for me is just a lot of grandstanding. He's everywhere and anywhere, but I keep
Shout
boni
out to Gayton, man.
Shout out to Gayton,
I saw him last night,
At the
which
hip-hop.
is at the hip hop.
Yeah, man. I love seeing him there.
Shout out to Back to the City, by the way, we won't be there.
Exactly.
The butcher coming.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like
exactly.
that. That was
Shout
a
out
good
to,
look.
Yeah,
That
shout out
was a
to
good
Ousted
look.
and all of them,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
So give me your look. Give me your take.
Look, I think for me, when it comes to politics, man, the thing is like, for the everyday man on the street, it doesn't matter whether it was ANC or whatever. But for me, GNU is an arrangement that was made by the funders
Yes.
of politics.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not what DA wants for themselves. It's not what ANC wanted for themselves, right? It was a funder saying,
This is the best case scenario.
Msholozi came in and fucked up all the scenarios that were on the table,
Yeah.
right? To the point where even something that I remember, like Floyd, they once interviewed him about it. Remember, everybody, when they went to the election, they were like, guys, it doesn't matter what our ideology is. All we are agreeing on, we've had enough of ANC.
Yes.
And he was saying, if ANC loses and comes under 50, we recall all the ambassadors. Could anything that has an ANC face, he said that, Floyd, on an interview, I think on SMW.
Yeah.
Yasizwe Mpoof, right? But what you now see, realize the horror, actually, the funders, this is for the funders to say, what does it make sense for the funders?
Yeah, because I agree ANC below 50% gives it a chance to work with the EFF,
Yes.
gives it a chance to work with Msholos.
Yes.
They
But
didn't want that.
They didn't.
I was about to say that, Hore.
They didn't want that.
The funders and all these opposition, they knew
Yeah.
the dangerous combination was MK, ANC, and EFF. So they would rather, do everything they wanted to keep. That's why even the negotiations, they didn't even try too hard negotiating with MK and EFF, right? They rather worked hard negotiating with the others because that's what's said. I mean, no, look at Herman Mashaba and Tshwane. Herman was singing at the top of his lungs. He hates the ANC. He didn't even join.
We're going to get to that.
You know,
I don't want us to jump.
yeah, but what I'm saying is that like you're saying, the funders understood, this is the best case scenario. And that's why they knew if they put MK and EFF and ANC together, they would never stand a chance.
Let me give you my opinion. I wanna get that's why speaking to what you guys are speaking about. I think they saw it coming, right? The ANC's loss of power. Remember when the DA messaging started changing? We are stopping EFF.
Yes.
Then they did the whole moon pack.
Yes,
thing.
shot,
moon shot, whatever.
Yeah.
Moonshot pack.
It was all in defiance of what was coming.
Yeah.
I think. It was messaging that was, and then obviously it happened, and they did the whole GNU. But what I'm finding with the DA right now is that they're fumbling. Now that they have to kind of
Actually govern. Actually properly govern.
They are fucking up.
Yeah, in fact, I think we've said
They are fucking up.
We've said this before. It looks sexy to criticize
On the sidelines.
It's like, when you are watching soccer, it looks so easy when somebody missed.
Yeah.
So what
dog.
They are now realizing what shit.
And you know who's the worst performing for me? What education, boy. Yo, man.
But also, that
Koreana, she's playing. She is a DA Minister of
Yeah,
Education.
yeah.
She's not the Minister of Education.
but also, this is typical of black people in the DA.
oh my God,
It's so typical because if you look at Leon, I forgot his surname, or what? Shabrian, whatever, Home Affairs. If you look at John Steenhuisen, none of them are like exactly the greatest, right? But they can kind of sort of defy Helen. Ona yena, she knows if she defies her, Oya Harvard next week. She's going to Harvard University next week. So my thing is, and also your political party doesn't believe in the Bella Bill. Fine, it's okay. You have said your stance, but we have made you a minister. Therefore, you are in governance. That is not a party.
You're supposed to be there.
Do you understand?
You're supposed to be there. You're supposed to be there. Like her not being there at the signing.
It's defiance.
It's defiance.
And also, how do you have
She
your
should have been
MECs
reprimanded.
and you not there?
She should have been. And I get to be why.
I have a very dangerous thought.
But it's a towing of the line. That's why Basa
Yeah,
it because
and I
because Cyril also didn't want to shake the boat too much with that. He had to toe the
because she's
line.
a black woman, happening.
She's a black woman. You're trying to kind of protect this relationship with the DA,
GNU
but she
must
should have been
collapse.
fired. That's why Satu and I know once I hit on a silver
are happy
platter.
to make her the sacrificial lamb. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Because you don't hear all the hoopla around this blunder that Steenhuisen has made.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because the DA isn't talking about how big that fucking blunder is. Because
So the dangerous thought that I have, which is not good for the men on the street. Right, GNU, what I've realized that DA has gotten to the point where they are unashamedly racist.
yeah.
Yeah.
The reason I'm saying that is because another thing is that we also know that this is a grand coalition more than it is a GNU. Ne?
Yeah.
And I feel like the DA, knowing the tones of South Africa in terms of the boiling underlying racism, even the appointments about if DA was playing the long-term game to buy the goodwill of black people, you should have made the chief of staff Damfana Yabagaki.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
But what you are now showing us that you are so unashamedly racist.
Yes.
Okay, even if it was a white person, at least not a controversial one.
Yeah. But my thing is...
So here's the dangerous part. So because in South Africa, the power of economy lies in white people, sometimes I understand why ANC is also unashamedly corrupt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because there's no other way I can get my league back.
Exactly, bro.
So sometimes, in as much as it hates me, it hurts me to admit to the corruption ANC. Sometimes in fun, that's the only way you can get your league back.
That's the only way you can get your leg back.
Like, and sometimes that's why I get listen, Mashallah, it's not the fault side, but sometimes I can understand. And how can presidents took care of their own.
Yeah?
Took care of their own hometowns, took care of their people.
That's true.
Nelson Mandela, Thabo Mbeki.
How we airport in preparation for his funeral.
Mamela. In the Eastern Cape, Thabo Mbeki, Libo Nelson Mandela. They ate.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Jacob Zuma took care of the KZN area.
Yeah.
Oh, Aruna here, because Liko Shawelo, I nageli.
In fact, that money is. I don't even think.
He doesn't have a constituency. He doesn't have a ground force.
No. You know what's the funny thing about the whole rhetoric about him advancing the interests.
It's a white man. Yeah, it's a white man.
I don't know if you know this. Ramaphosa is so eloquent in so many African languages, ne?
Yes, absolutely.
And he becomes so likable when he speaks them, ne? But it's like the way he is so scared to appear as black, he does not even tap into that thing.
You like him even when he speaks his other African languages?
No, what I'm just, because he's so eloquent in it. You know why I'm saying
that? Yeah, he is very eloquent in other languages.
Especially because we come from a very tribalistic background.
Yes.
So when Ramaphosa actually speaks isiXhosa, he speaks it so well that I feel like being a black president, he could have easily used that to quell the underlying tribalism. But the thing is,
and also use it to his advantage towards
because
black.
He represents white interests so much that he does not really want to appear as black as he can be.
And this is why also, even if you look at his decision making from a policy point of view, man. You don't know where he stands, you know. For instance, Nelson Mandela was kumbaya, right?
Yeah.
Across the board, yeah.
Yeah,
And
he
we
was
needed
kumbaya.
that at the time.
We needed that at the time. Thabo Mbeki is like, I ain't got time for kumbaya. We are going to be economic. We are going to make sure from an economic point of view, we are going to be strong, right? That's what he did. Even to his detriment, because to advance his economic ideas and policies. Great. Jacob Zuma's like, listen, I'm for the black man. Yes. I'm from the layman man. I'm from everybody. Do you understand? That's why he could. You could see the growth of black millionaires or rich people within his space. I'll bet most of them were from KZN, but nonetheless, that's immaterial. Then we have him. We don't know what he stands for. Yeah. Are you for the black people? I mean, look at ANC, Gwabona. I don't think they can even, they can't present him to us properly because they don't know what he stands for.
No. And at some point, this these threats from the DA, at some point the ANC needs to be like, yeah, niggas are either in or out. Because not
I like everything for that.
Yeah,
he has that posture.
Yeah, not everything that we are contesting means you guys are threatening to leave the GNU.
But here's another thing. DA, they will threaten and they're going nowhere. And I'll tell you why.
Because they're threatening over this 20 thing. Now.
Yeah, no. Over, by threatening like a Bella, like a Tshwane, like a NHI. They will never leave, and I'll tell you why. They know if they leave, it gives space for MK, EFF. ANC right now is in a position to negotiate with these two.
In fact, what you are saying is what I can picture a funder saying
Yeah.
to them. No, I understand your grabs are legitimate.
But
Should you make the decision that's in principle, by the way? Because I would respect you if you take it out of principle.
Exactly.
But your principle is going to cost you.
it's going to cost you, right? So they know they're gonna threaten, they're gonna do this.
So the threatening is for their supporters.
It's for their supporters.
They need to
But
get to those-
It's
grandstanding.
grandstanding.
yeah, and how Kasheba, ANC doesn't even consider that because ANC in this, from here, they are standing from a point of power. They understand what you can leave. We got now Mashaba is willing to come on board.
He's a cool kid.
Yeah,
man.
he-
And he's coming. Listen, I still hate the man, but he's coming. He's having his coming to Jesus moment. Do you know what I'm saying?
What do you think is the sudden turn of his gripe with the DA this
No,
time?
Leona, it's actually not in good faith. It's just that it's his beef with the DA that just so happens to benefit the ANC
Yes.
from where they are sitting.
Yeah.
But so it's not out of principle. By
It's
the
not
way.
out of
Hemen Mashaba, what he's doing now has more to do with personal politics and scores 2 seconds with the DA.
With the DA.
Yeah, because
definitely.
how Kasheba, even when he
Definitely.
was ousted as Mayor Joburg, he had his gripe with the DA, but still managed to work with them, Gotswan.
Yeah.
So Nano, I mean, I was shocked. I was reading this week. He's taking the John Slopper ruling.
Yeah, on
JC.
review.
Oh, yeah.
He's taking it on appeal and review to the
Yeah.
Concord. And
That's
now,
so unlike him.
that is
So
very.
unlike
That's what I'm saying. He's having a coming to Jesus moment.
Not a coming to
It's
Jesus
not
moment.
a but what I'm
He's
saying is
spiking
that,
the DA.
but what I'm saying is that
Spiking the DA.
now with them threatening, there are sharks circling. Floyd moving to the MK has given the MK meat. It's given them some sort of structure and power because
Yeah.
we didn't understand. MK, yes, people voted for it, but there was a lot of fighting. So now
And,
Floyd,
never
huna le mo actually some TikTok, some guy at hey, every domsholozi ye uyenkantolo sifuna ahlale phansi eParliament asiqoqele ukuthi kuyenzakalani.
Exactly.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So now Floyd has come in as head of policy and political school to give MK its
Structure.
meat, its structure, its policies, everything.
And I love it. I
And
love
that's great. So now if you have, so ANC they know who Floyd is from a academic, political, they can work with him. They understand him.
He's
Le
got age on his
EFF,
side.
Le EFF, they're willing to work. So DA, it will threaten just to make these people, to make their constituents happy. But Bona self, they know they ain't going
Yeah,
nowhere.
they're not leaving.
Yeah, the funders won't even allow them. Because now I understand Brinkstilia's family
Yeah.
is actually one of DA's biggest.
Yeah.
The former king, this mayor back at
Yeah, now-
his Brinkstilia's.
Yeah.
By him leaving the office early, they didn't get a return on investment.
Yeah, so now that's why they're fighting so much to get him back because
him
his
back.
family in Karakiwana, one of the biggest
And
funders.
they're not using any sort of credible metric as to why they would want him back.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
because
saying?
last-
apparently Tswane has been one of the worst performing. Kind of expenditure yabona, maybe it's that category of useless and what expenditure.
Yeah, and wasteful
Yeah,
expenditure, and I
in
can't-
like high.
There was
like
a column. There was a column I was watching.
Sure.
They've gone up billions.
Bruh, like there were points. Couple like Chevrolet, you know, something. I don't know what's about EFF. I got always like video to tell you what's happening on the matrix of the EFF.
Yeah.
So they had a whole show where they showed how Tshwane has been underperforming and underperforming, especially Kodikasi because
Yes.
because this guy wasn't servicing.
Service at Isaba.
Yeah, on a service fair.
Yeah,
You know
no,
what I'm
look,
saying?
last year, I don't know if you remember, I think was it for 3 or 4 months, City of Tshwane employees were on strike. Because all are hauna chelete for the increment.
But apparently they were underspending at certain.
But they were
certain-
underspending and also hona le ntho ya
Haona
hore,
tjhelete
but
jwale.
why is top brass ya Tshwane getting bonuses that are huge, but employees there's no money for increments? And then they were finding, I think they wanted to put Tshwane under administration at some point last year because for 4 months there was no service delivery.
Yeah,
So that was the nail in his coffin, so to say, when it comes from a performance point of view.
Yeah.
And the Maubani, 2 days ago, Randall Williams, the former mayor before him, who was also at DA, was saying, but I was directly told by DA not to perform.
Is that the kind of dude
Yes.
Yeah.
who's been coming out?
Yeah.
Yes, and
yeah.
he came after Sputla. So they were doing comparisons. Hore, hi sale Sputla atswa. Go Tshwane.
It's been downhill, ne?
It's been downhill. It's finally after Parks left. It's been a
Parks and Futa were
mess.
actually the last good mayors for Joburg.
Yeah.
And you
Pretoria
can't
was
listen to
good
people but Honorable Gareth Cliff because they obviously live in the areas that were serviced by the DA.
Futhi o nkare o itse ha ba tlo patala di rates and taxes. Nkare ba ka mo timela.
And he's not gonna now pay.
I saw a
Man,
response.
fuck that nigga, man.
I saw a response. Anto. I saw a response. Yeah, Herman to
Yeah,
that tweet.
to Ari.
And so the township people are justified for not paying electricity. then.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Something that you guys used to complain about.
Yes.
Hey, because now that's what you say
Yes,
you're gonna
yes.
do. Yeah, man, fuck Gareth. Man.
No, Tshwane, I
He's
mean,
so out of touch.
I used to work in Tshwane. And Tshwane, I remember saying, I want to live in Tshwane because it was
Yo, it's so clean.
clean. I mean, local locationing. I remember okay, go Atteridgeville.
Atteridgeville
Yeah,
was
that's
clean.
Yeah, kana go tsa Sputla.
was
Go
clean,
Peli.
This is the first one.
Yeah, it's a first hood.
Clean, yeah.
Peli was
Peli
clean.
clean,
Go
bro.
drop. Obana how can I go hill, bro? Can I go Joburg? Who fail? Go
CBD,
go semi packs.
Yo.
It was mwah.
bruh.
Even when you go to Soshanguve, it is clean. You go to Rankua, it was clean. It wasn't like the best, but it was clean
But it was
compared
clean,
to our
bro.
hoods
And then it's
in
a tool,
Joburg.
say,
But now,
Kind of only Pretoria.
Yeah.
But now-
It
was safe.
And not getting
Relax, bro.
it was safe. Little taxi ranks at thing. They were clean.
Also, because I think there was this respect of it's still the capital.
It's still the capital.
It was still the
bro.
capital.
Yeah.
It's still the capital, and you gotta
That
treat it as
respect,
such.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
When I know, I
And
went
also, like, a
there.
lot of embassies are
Yes,
there.
yes,
type
yes,
of thing.
yes,
So
yes.
like
Around-
it's a
around
window
this,
into South Africa. Like
Yes.
in Pretoria.
Yes.
You need to give confidence about the country.
Exactly.
basically.
So now after Sputla, sheesh, man, it's been downhill. After Parks, it's been downhill. Ikurileni, I'm gonna say because I live there. After Mzwandile, it's
Actually,
been a shit
mentioning
show.
Sputla, I think he should be the wild card for the ANC presidency.
You think so?
Yeah.
Look, Sputla is good, but also Sputla
Ajay.
doesn't play politics. He doesn't know how to play politics
Yeah,
as
he's a
well.
Technocrat, ne?
Yeah, he's very good, Yana. But you know, playing politics from a region, from a local government to national, is a total different
But
thing.
you know, I say he's a wild card. In an environment where we still believe behind the scenes, white capital still pulls the strings, even in the ANC, which is how Ramaphosa got there. He's still the.
Favored.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? 'Cause
Yeah.
he's educated, and now the whole ESCOM thing actually brands him properly.
It does.
Because it's under his watch that
so-
we've had the longest
so
run without.
he could be a wild card
without load
because
shedding.
even his ministry now is seen as a promotion because before, remember, it used to be under the presidency.
Yeah.
Yes.
So with the whole load shedding happening,
Yeah.
the history of
Yeah.
Tshwane,
mayorship,
yeah.
Yeah.
Mayorship.
His PR is
So
good
he's
now.
actually
Yeah,
a wild
and
card.
also, I mean, also
PR is good.
the smartness of the people he brought in to turn around ESCOM. Like he brought in black
Yes, yes.
technical
Black,
guys
yeah,
who
black
are engineers,
excellence, yeah.
who understand. Look, one thing I respect about Sputla is a civil engineer by profession. He doesn't necessarily, he's not an electrical engineer, but he understands the basics of engineering,
Yeah.
right? And he came in and said, why are you putting bureaucrats in technical spaces? Why are you putting it like that man is a bureaucrat. What is, I think he's a CA by profession or some shit like that, right? So some spaces you can have a bureaucrat to be your CA but got ESCOM, especially in a place where ESCOM was in.
Yes.
What from a technical point of view was causing all this load shedding? You had to bring in technical guys who said, okay, but who, like we were speaking about earlier, who understands all departments, from finance to HR to procurement to this, to say, okay, what, or everybody, every department, please send me report, ready warning, ready bale, so I can understand.
Des will agree with this in bookkeeping and accounting. Ne? It doesn't matter how much you want to promote black new talent. There's a mess ne? That requires a ton.
Yeah.
The bookkeeping.
Yeah, for
There's
him.
no better bookkeeper. Ne? And You pull that bitch out of retirement.
And you tell her to look at this thing.
Before computers.
Yeah.
Claims.
Yeah.
You pull that dummy out of retirement.
No, that's true, hey.
And that's what they did.
There are some women that call for that, bro.
And that's what they did.
You let her cook.
Yeah. And that's what they did. They bought a lot of retired people.
Even in the police forum,
Yeah.
they will tell you in front. These are apartheid training, but there are things that
Yeah, man.
there's a special training that they got. Ne?
Yeah.
Where you gotta pull that nigga out. In front.
Yeah.
And
Because they have a specialized understanding.
Yeah,
of the story.
no. Look, why?
Remember case I'm hopola ngwanole wa ko o ile ngabula wa ko Lenasia ke an Indian guy. It was a huge case.
Okay.
Lenasia, it was an Indian guy. What Lee?
Oh,
yes.
Jerry, that girl, the Cape Townian girl.
I'm not sure. No, yeah, but she was.
She was killed in it because she unakena ko Monash.
Yes,
She was
yes,
kidnapped ko Monash. Then she was, I don't know if she was dating the guy.
Because then they had to get
Got that nigga.
they got that nigga
Got that nigga.
out of retirement.
Got that nigga out of retirement.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
paid him a special fee.
Yeah.
Cracked it.
Yeah.
But listen, the truth of the matter is, there are special skill sets. These people are nobody in Kakai. And we need to be honest, Lehon, as Batuabantu. How do we milk those skill sets from
Yeah,
them?
but that was the issue because they had time to do the skills to do the skills transfer. It never happened.
But also, I blame government because why are you not? You have all these beautiful policies on paper. Mara haona hore, okay, na arbone skill set hore
yeah, there was no forward thinking.
No,
in
but
ISCOM.
guys, let's be honest. Happy. If you look at the trajectory or a career progression trajectory of Mangamla compared to Ron, what happened with us, to be quite honest, ne, is that we are academically strong. Ne? But what you find is that we are then microwave when it comes to a career.
Yeah.
Whereas this nigga becomes a supervisor for 5 years. Then he's got skin in the game. He learns everything that he needs to learn by layer. Ronald, to be honest, you see somebody sitting on the board, you're like, the only acclaim he's got behind him is like a lot of papers.
Yeah.
Ne?
Yeah.
Eloquent. This nigga, you can't put him in the field.
Yeah, because he hasn't done the work.
Yeah.
But
So
he's learned
that's
it.
the apartheid. These niggas are even uneducated.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But what they did is that they're skin in the game.
Yeah.
That's
But
why-
I get happy. That's the difference because with us, to get in, you need the papers because it's a
Yes,
requirement. That
it's
was
a
set.
barrier,
Yes,
yeah.
It was a barrier that was
Yeah.
set for us. Okay. Because I get our intelligence is brought into question.
Yeah, now that's why nepotism worked for me because, like, I come from a political background. When you brought me in, I've had to high heel, pencil skirt, makeup. Now I know muchini so nale hydraulical nale ing. I still hate the books, still hate numbers. But my sister, I'm still learning. Okay, financials are read like this, and this is what it means. When the mechanical guys say, okay, the short filter, this, I'm trying to learn every single aspect
So
of the
what you're
business.
basically talking about is that the nepotism and that privilege got you in.
Yes.
And then you learn
Yes.
inside.
Yes.
You still have to learn.
Yeah, you still learn inside. And that is what
Why people are doing, and the worst part,
That is exactly
and
what
now
white people get.
it's
They're given the benefit of the doubt. Baba Lisa, you will learn
learn
the
this,
job.
because I personally feel like I learned it very late. Because look, my dad has been in this business for many years, even before I
And you
was
never
born.
thought you learned there.
Yeah, and then even when he started his business,
Where
I
he
was
shines,
still
how he
very
shines.
young. I was in primary school. My dad started his business, so I didn't bother myself. Enough for me when my dad on holidays, I don't know, on Capere sighting as a kid, I was like, it's a road trip. Never really wanting to learn
Or it's a
anything.
socialization into
Yeah,
the business,
I only started wanting to really be privy into the business when I decided I'm leaving politics and I'm going to be with my dad in the business. Right? White people, they
That's
teach
what I was
them
gonna
the
say.
car.
The fault was on your father, and when I say fault, I don't mean like negatively. Is that a lot of times it's like Indian kids. They get told, whatever you're gonna go study is for fun.
Yeah,
But when the family
The
that
family
education
business,
is paid, you owe the family something.
Exactly.
And
yeah.
Baba because I used to work with a lot of these wholesalers, whatever, when I was in sales and stuff. When I started, my father would insist to deliver the driver.
Yeah.
Bro, how do you know so
bro, what you talking about? I have a friend, and in the, you met him.
I met him, yeah.
You met him during, that man, when the clothing shop, yeah. When I get about who to a car, or that man, you're not happy to high school, you're not, we are shop.
You were trying to get to
Joburg. Trying to get to Joburg. Nah, he just slipped back to his father's business.
Yeah.
Because another thing that we don't do well as Babats as well is that the whole thing we're going to duty. We are nowhere near where these kids have to have a choice. Nowhere near.
Yeah.
And I know this whole soft parenting.
Yeah.
Yo, bro. I don't give a fuck if you're good in piano. We need stems. We're still a generation that needs stems, bro.
Now I won't lie.
And I can just imagine the sort of pressure that friend of mine was under, because his destiny was already foretold.
Yeah.
When I lost Spanish, we don't give a fuck.
And mind you, I'm not saying, as we are sitting now, he's looking at you enviously.
Yeah.
Because he thinks, fuck, Des chose his career.
I didn't.
But you are looking there like, you, bro, but you said.
Yeah, but he's good.
And he's like, I'm sorry, that shit that don't set my soul on fire. You get to be on the pod, Robert. So,
But he's,
wherever you sit on this,
on the fence.
It doesn't matter.
Not time like I remember, I was like, oh, Dad, I'm going to study international relations, politics. My dad's very old school. I also right?
You
So
can't make sense of the career.
yeah. So also
that should have been on your neck.
So not time like but also because my mom is a teacher. My mom is my mom. What I enjoy that she knows her kids, so she kind of pushed you. My mom's like, no, must study whatever, My dad's like, oh, hi, cool. I tell my like, sometimes this political thing, right? And
I need help.
yeah.
I need help.
At first, I was like, oh my word, I'm going to do this for 5 minutes, and I'm going to go back. Now I'm just like, I'm not
Yeah.
And at
least you finally came around.
And Lynn, now, people get shocked. I drive the big cars. I know how to reverse a trailer. I know how to do things men do because I need to understand my business to have continuity of the business.
Exactly, man. Exactly. All right, man. I want to
Switch it up.
switch it up a little bit. Maybe just touch on comments on just some notable things that have been happening. The other week, there was that
Since we didn't record.
Yeah, we didn't record. There was that Midrand fire, man. I don't know if you guys saw
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Well, I was just saying, hey, I hope there's no nigga who is supposed to be in Delhi. Who is not supposed. Oh my God!
Like with the floods, right? the secured floods.
Because chances with that fire, people left laptops.
Dog.
Now you have to.
Dog, that was just funny.
No, business man. Insurance, household insurance, limit.
What were you doing there? You know what I did?
Like at my house, my wife handles household insurance.
Yeah.
So if I use my phone, that's out and about.
Yeah.
I have to tell me that
You know the guy because she has to put in the claim.
And then if I mention the place, that conflicts with where I said I was. You know what I'm doing? And the phone must be replayed.
Can I go Zoto no sere ha monate jwang?
Dog.
But there's nothing as funny as
Dog.
You know how you know if somebody knows English or not?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how they speak. Description.
Yeah.
Get a black person to describe an incident.
what
happened? No, me. I see him. I see the phone.
And then I ran, and then
Oh, dog.
I always explain that person. He goes to default English. He doesn't go to the one where we take the airport.
Yeah, there was some. Actually, they were interviewing some of the people who were there outside. English, oh man.
No, look, I don't know. Look, it was a very funny because then they found out there was, I think where the fire originated was in some lady's apartment, and then they found they found her in the rubble, right?
Yeah,
and then there was rumors. There was rumors a day before the fire, she had, it sounded like they were having a fight, her partner. So they were suspecting Hure, he might have started the fire to bury evidence of killing her or something.
Yeah.
But I don't know where it ended up.
Yeah, because there was a separate gas tank in on her kitchen counter. Yeah, but
So
her,
if it's isolated or it's part of the...
but her sister denies the boyfriend might have had something to do with
Yeah,
it.
so
Apparently he wasn't there.
Was the child discovered? There's a child that was missing.
Yeah, but apparently one is safe.
Oh, thank God,
Yeah,
thank God.
when I do it with either friends, like close friends, their sister. So people obviously wanted to mix it up. It might have been
A GBV
like
incident.
a GBV thing. Yeah, but it might look like it might have been suicide.
Oh, okay.
On her part.
Yeah, on her
Oh,
part.
okay.
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 Yeah, o butsila ere ya gas.
Oh,
But there was a spark.
It's,
Yeah, but obviously we're still waiting.
More speculation.
Yeah,
Forensics.
Yeah, we're still waiting for the forensics. We're still waiting lay the forensics on her body as well.
But the damage, because that's a whole complex. I would cry.
It used to be an office.
Change.
Oh, it's those
Yeah.
apartments where they
Office
change
turned,
into. But I would cry because now how's
Because
now?
apparently the walls were
Thin,
yeah,
the partition.
Yeah, they were thin.
But now imagine how now
So no
household
wonder it was able to
insurance.
spread.
How's now household insurance?
And a lot of people in Midrand don't have insurance, bro.
How did you come to that
I'm telling you,
conclusion?
But if it's sectional title in the building, will have insurance?
No, but
does.
the building.
contents.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
when
the
you
building does.
when you have sectional title
It's
thingy,
automatic on the
it's
rates.
automatic. Like even when you, let's say for in an estate, right? Even when you buy in an estate and it's sectional title, when you try and take out your own insurance, they refuse about no your estate. So for
Your
Hona,
just content.
yes. So Hona,
the content.
yeah. So for instance, now I remember when we were getting our place, Negereki insure my building, my apartment.
What our Garuna Lemon.
No, me and my sister, Aki Jolie. I don't believe in relationships, but nonetheless. So I remember. Then I remembered, or no, the bank specifically asked because we were buying in an estate.
Yeah, in an
They're like,
estate.
there are certain documents that they require from the developer,
okay.
which was insurance, and also it has to be adequately insured.
Insured,
Right?
okay.
Bakasi underinsured.
Underinsured,
So
yeah.
you as a sectional title owner can't insure your building.
But
What you
contents.
insure is your content. So even if your geyser bursts, it's a responsibility of the thing and not
Yeah,
you.
not you.
Yeah,
No, understood.
But your TVs
Yeah.
and stuff.
Because
going to-
apparently, speaking on that, the building owners offered the residents 5,000 rand each.
5,000.
Yeah, to try to get alternative accommodation. Where are you gonna get a place here 5,000?
But
Oh my God, man! And a lot of people refused it, of course. But at 5,902, so you know what I'm saying? Like places are expensive. I think at the minimum you need close to 10, right?
But when Midrand was this fire, I saw it was Midrand back then.
Yeah. It's kind of. Because I did a new road, man. Pela body McDonald's.
Oh, yeah, I see. Oh, when I'm on Euro, McDonald's. Hona le di office ngata nyana mo.
Because I it was an office.
Yes. Oh.
Hona sectioning here, you have a new road, do that. If you ever been to Cubana, or
Yes, Carl's World,
Carl's
Sandridge, yeah. Yeah,
Second
no.
city,
Oh,
so that's where
okay.
it happened.
But because once you move out of that space, right, you move into your Carl's World, you move
Yeah.
into your, what's that other part of to get a knocking pack of Midrand,
But not big.
not vague. Prices become slightly
Quite,
steeper,
yeah, they
right?
become
Because that was an
steeper.
office building,
Yeah,
and
so
if you have partitioning,
So
it's
it
very
would have
thin.
been cheap.
It would have been cheap. So if you're now moving into other buildings, it's slightly more expensive.
Yeah. Now they should have just taken that money and tried to find them alternative accommodation, temporary accommodation, something.
I mean, get them into
get them into some
into
place.
guest house or
Guest house,
something.
35,000 saying you are gonna give all those residents and just get them in a place temporarily while you are sorting things out. I would believe.
Thank you.
But
Look,
it's a shit show.
Look, at the end of the day, business people, selfish business people, I'm not going to say every single business person, selfishly, business people always look at the bottom line, how it affects them and not everybody else, right? And it's unfair because this is not just a bottom line. These are people and their lives and what has been affected, right?
Yeah, it's a shame.
It's a shame. So you can't be selfish and say, you know, for 5,000. 5,000, guys, we spend 5,000 in a day on like grocery and stuff. What is 5,000? Because
I saw this one lady who was interviewed there when she noticed the fire, like, because apparently it happened around 8-9 p.m. So literally the only thing she took was the work laptop. Laptop
I hate capitalism.
Yeah, she was thinking about her boss, bro. Like, just the work laptop.
I'm
But
banning that shit so that I don't have to go to work.
dog, like her clothes, because one morning we look and say,
Gown.
in fact. I can find out this gown and this fucking laptop are the only things I have now.
Nahan.
Like all her clothes,
documents.
all her clothes are burnt. The card, ID.
Now what I do now, like in terms of like body, like important
Documents.
I keep soft copies, like
Same.
qualifications,
Yeah,
copy of
online.
IDs.
Yeah.
Just keep it on the cloud.
Yeah, keep them on
When I
cloud
was
as
on
well.
the keys.
No lady do that keys. And destroy.
Yeah, look, guys,
Yeah, lady had a key.
I'm old, ne?
Yeah.
But not like my birth
Yeah.
certificate, even I
Yeah.
think my matric certificate, my
Yeah.
qualification, all of us go through. But
Because I remember when my mom passed away, like her documents,
Yeah.
Yeah,
all school work,
when my grandmother passed away, time like
Una
Metropolitan.
yeah, high coffee.
Every document.
you find everything got kissed.
My parents went to a point where every year they manually file physical files. It's like important documents that had to be updated every year, including their taxes and everything. So I know if my parents were to something happened to them.
Yeah.
And
And it's really beneficial, especially at our age. Also, no, be involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's why, I choose to involve myself into admin at that time,
Yeah.
like to do his taxes to
Now what I've done.
And then I know because I'm upgrade, I know I get it. So then I take his stuff online, then I give
Yes.
copies of things.
Upgrade, yeah.
And then they
So
can
what
upgrade.
I've done, I have a specific file that my sisters will have access. It's a soft copy
Yeah.
that has all my papers, the
Yeah, man.
insurance.
Ask your parents to give you power of attorney, like medical aid. Like I have power of attorney on medical aid at time. I'm allowed to make calls on his behalf.
In an emergency.
I need
that's
emergency.
Really?
Yeah, insurance.
Yeah.
Your parents can put you as power of attorney. So request.
Actually, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, body insurance. Like, I'm allowed to do calls on his behalf and keep you as if.
That's something to look into.
Yeah.
Actually,
and
that's-
then ba gonna offer the right who is on to say.
Now I think because my mom technology amhlola. That's why I kind of know her affairs, right? And my dad, because we work together, a lot of even my dad knows my personal stuff.
Yeah.
Because we all work together, so he'll know I have the will. And now I can ask Fuba guys. My family even knows. I tell my parents, "Oh, mo willing ki can say 1, 2, 3, ki say 1, 2, 3." You know, my parents obviously my dad will know how much I earn. My mom, I told her. My sis. So now my things. My family knows. Bye 4. They know everything.
Yeah, the least you can do is have a smooth operation administratively.
Yeah, you really want that.
And bon khone ba rona ba hlalefile
Yeah,
ke
you
ditaba
really
tsa
want
di
that.
society
Yeah.
ba na le dibuka tsa teng te physical ba o jetse ka tlasa matrasa a hlokala mo la
Yeah, o hula buka,
Yeah, once are from 1982.
payment
Utanza
and
patala
that's
di
it,
50 randa.
Yep.
And it becomes easier for us, you know. It's us, but the Model C, who don't take those things into consideration.
Yeah, man. All right. Also developing with the Palestinian-Iranian war. Because now, yeah, but it's escalated now. Yeah.
No, I just feel it's. You know, when it comes to Palestine and Israel, you always feel uninformed.
Yeah, because it's been going on for so long.
Sometimes you listen to an Israel, so you'll be at your house and hating Israel. Then you listen to a commentator and you're like, hey, maybe they have a point.
Nah, man, fuck these commentators, bro. The reporting and the media is skewed against Palestine.
I know.
Yeah, you're not sure.
Now there's Lebanon involved and Iran.
Yeah, so that is the escalation, right? So they started going into Lebanon, looking for Hezbollah. So as soon as they started as soon as they started doing that, Iran started bombing.
I saw that, the videos.
Yeah, Iran started bombing. Apparently there's escalation. UK fitly there's a statement there. Iran needs to stop, otherwise they might need to intervene. The US did the same thing. Yeah, so but the situation is basically as it is, right? Like as we always know it. Israel is out here acting a fool. US is supporting this fool. The UK is basically NATO is supporting this fool, and then at least the Irani, EMLA, like one Arab state, EMLA, Gaza and Palestine.
The one thing I remembered with the bombing of Lebanon, the capital city is Beirut.
Yes.
And I remember there is no hood that does not have Beirut, because they fought before.
Yes.
So Beirut was always a war-torn.
Yeah, war-torn.
Beirut.
Yeah, it's a war-torn situation. Why?
Nuggets about tavern in Limpopo,
Beirut,
Beirut.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, where was this name Beirut from?
If a spot is named Beirut,
Look, for me, it's a very, very emotional.
Yeah, I want briefly, because the situation is basically the same. There isn't anything new I think we can garner from this.
Screw Israel.
Yeah.
I've said this multiple times. Look, Iran is the only Arab country that's actually
that was my point.
And my thing is,
it's the only Arab country that seems like it's standing up.
But also,
Saudi,
I don't defend anybody.
It won't.
Dubai, I don't defend anybody.
But,
because
I'm particularly disappointed with Saudi Arabia, because they are at a place where they can geographically like really intervene.
Okay, my question
in a considerable way.
My question is, when have you ever seen Saudi protect anybody?
Saudi are all about the
Saudi, because ba enjoy a relationship with America and the NATO
they
people.
need to export the world.
Yeah,
there.
they need to. But I thought because it's a Muslim country to a Muslim country, like who bona haba kopana ka Muslim mfana.
No,
Look,
but also you must understand, there are two. Is it camps or two?
Sunnis, the Muslims. The Sunnis,
and
Aditwan. Shiites and Sunnis,
So, especially about the Saudis, they see themselves
as better,
as superior.
Better Muslims.
Yeah. So, and also, both Palestine don't practice their kind. They're not as stringent as your Saudis, right? So, because of those two different camps, so to say, for lack of a better word, they won't come to their rescue. But also, my question stands: when have you ever seen Saudi protect any Arab country?
Yeah.
When it happened to Afghanistan, they didn't go through.
Yeah.
When it happened to Iran, it didn't happen to. So Iraq, it's never happened, right? Saudi banali chelete, they have a beautiful relationship with NATO, with the Euro people.
The US,
so they don't care. As long as they are raking their billions from their oil.
Yeah, man, it's sometimes like we forget that we are literally watching
World War,
a genocide, bro.
Yeah. Did you see what?
Like we are literally watching a mass extinction of people.
Yes.
Online, like
in real time.
In real time.
Look what they did. Look what they did to Syria and Damascus, right?
And sometimes I feel like we are desensitized.
Because we've watched it so much. Yeah.
And we hear about it so much, Mara. If you really understand, like if you really sometimes, how to blomoli one or and like
Sheba what they did to Syria.
Yeah.
Syria was in our faces every single day until we became so desensitized to the issue. We didn't even care anymore. And I know Damascus is non-existent.
Yeah,
Syria, when I know Syrian people are misplaced, they are dying in the ocean trying to get out of. It's bad.
Yeah.
That's what they are trying to do with the Palestine and Israel war. Where we are becoming so desensitized to what's happening, and now it's not even. We don't even care about how long ago or how long this war has happened.
Yeah.
Now it's becoming intense.
And when you see like the reporting in the media, it's always about the debates. Do the Israelites have the right to live? Like they trying to make it seem like it's like some kind of gender war. You know what I'm saying?
They're actually making it a spiritual war.
Yeah, and it's not that, man. These niggas are killing kids, bro. Like they're bombing hospitals
So what they're doing, and this is why I get irritated with it. What they are doing is that they're trying to make it a spiritual war, right? Yeah, Christians and the Arabs, right? And Israel, biblically speaking, are the blessed country or the chosen people. But my argument is, and this is why I always fight with pastors, even though I'm a Christian, is that even in the Bible, Israel has always been a problem as a nation. Has always been a damn problem. If you read from the beginning of the Bible to the end of the Bible, there's times always God.
They were always like
Limudimu. That's why God always has to, and God always has to put them in very bad situations in order for them to come to their senses.
Didn't he nearly?
He washed them.
Wiped them out.
He washed them out. He made them walk around for a 5-kilometer thing for 40 years because Moses didn't even see the promised land. Israel has always been a problematic nation. Even if and Bonaba never sindwaka from a biblical point of view. Now I'm speaking from a biblical point of view. God, when He makes a covenant with you, He doesn't break His covenant. And his thing was, if I made a covenant with your forefather, which was Abraham, that I will bless your generations, I will stay true to that. But more mudimana banor baba mameli ba. He took them through nonsense. So for me is that yes, they are chosen, but they've never been a nation in mamelang.
The Israel of today is not the Israel of the Bible.
Yes, but as a lineage of an ancestral,
they just ride in the narrative. Israel was established in 1948 as a political settlement.
It was.
But what I'm saying
they were
though,
running away from Hitler.
Yeah, but what I'm saying though, that thing, Israel, like
the whole Zionism thing.
The whole religious connotation of it.
Yes,
it still comes into play because, like, even if you ask your Christian leader,
but Israeli right.
With regard to that,
our parents still take pilgrimages
to Israel.
But now also, this is where also people get selective about reading the Bible. A lot of Muslim people, even in South Africa, they're very blessed in terms of financially and all of that. That themselves, it's a biblical thing because Ishmael, God made a promise to Ishmael.
So Ishmael was Islam. His lineage does Islam.
His lineage
had
two wives. Yes.
Two wives.
And then two firstborns.
Oh, okay.
Which were sons, which was Isaac and Ismail.
Isaac
is where Jesus came.
Yes.
Okay.
And then there's Ishmael. I can remember when
the firstborn is Ishmael.
I forgot, but Ishmael is of that lineage. And God said, I will bless the nation sides and generation sides, both sides. So Ishmael, but Arab descent, of Muslim descent, that's why how Kasheba Libona from how Batwala Pili Kabupilo. Do you understand what I'm saying? So and that's why also how Kasheba from a spiritual point of view. So that's why I get because they are saying a lot of the you hear a lot of the Israel in the Bible, but you forget where it started. You know, so you for me, I always say Israel has always been a problematic nation.
Alright, man. Let's move on. Is there anything politically that you guys have?
Nah, we've had enough politics.
Right. Okay. So I'm moving on. So on the lighter side of things, what was a really big talking point this week was the whole Casper thing with his baby moms, right? So he's. I think it was her birthday this week.
The child's birthday or her birthday?
I think it was her birthday.
Oh, okay.
And then she was looking back at the past 2 years or so.
And dropped bombs.
Yeah, and then
Catch the rest of this episode on Patreon.
The